Hello, everybody. I have fallen in love with the BBC television series Doctor Who. Why do you love Doctor Who, Connor? Well, to be honest, I don't really know. There are parts about the show that are absolutely awful. I mean, I'll be the first to admit there are episodes where you're sitting there and you're just like, this is boring, this is gibberish, this is rubbish. I mean, some episodes either don't make sense or are just plain stupid. But I'll also be the first one in line to tell you how incredible some episodes can be. That's a little confusing. I know, but it's kind of hard to make it any clear. It's very difficult to explain. Well, you can try, can't you? Alright, I'll give it my best shot. So basically, Doctor Who, he started a long, long time ago. It's an old television show, and back then, of course, it's just horrible. You don't even want to watch it. Some crazy Doctor Who fans would probably go back and watch it just to watch it and know the story behind Doctor Who we know and love, but they started over recently, a few years back, about 6 or 7 years ago, and started doing a new series of Doctor Who. And so they started it back up with Series 1 of Doctor Who. And let's just say Series 1 of Doctor Who was, how do you put it? Awful. Series 1 of Doctor Who was it was low budgeting, it was not so great on the story. You know, the actors weren't that incredible, but they did the best they could with what they had. And doing what they could was that they did well. And it got me hooked, needless to say. I got through the first series and went on to the second one. Now, the second one improves dramatically. It's like their budget doubled. And it just was incredible. And now you've got one of my all-time favorite actors. Who's that, Connor? David Tennant. That's right, I said it. David Tennant also made an appearance in Harry Potter, but he's just an incredible actor. I love him. He's phenomenal, an amazing actor, and he just brought the show to a whole new level with bringing some of his own personality into the character of the Doctor, and it just blows my mind. Over time, Doctor Who begins to bring in a storyline that is just rich. In the beginning, it's a little dabbly here. This day they're doing this thing, this day they're doing this thing. But eventually you start to get more and more stories with villains like the Daleks and the Cybermen and the Master. The list goes on and on. My personal favorite, the Weeping Angels. And the show just gets a rich story. Do those terrible graphics ever improve? Yes, those terrible graphics do improve. As the seasons move forward, the funding for Doctor Who, as it got more popular, dramatically increased. And these days, from Series 6, that is currently taking a break because it's not over yet, but they're taking a break. It looks just as good as any other show out there. There's no sci-fi show really that looks like it's got much better graphics and costumes and stuff than Doctor Who. It's phenomenal. If you had one thing to say to someone who was considering watching Doctor Who but wasn't quite sure, what would it be? Whew, that's a hard one. I'd probably have to say stick with it. It's simple as that. Once you get started through the first series, it's rough. My mom is doing it right now. She thinks it's the stupidest show, but I've convinced her to stick with it, and I promise you, I will post a new video when she decides that she loves it, and I will have a clip of her saying how much she's decided that she likes it. But I'm telling you, if you stick with it and get through the first series, excuse me, and then on to the second series and into the third. Once you hit the third, then it's really getting good. Once you hit that third season, it couldn't get any better. But it does. it's absolutely incredible. Hands down, great. If you don't like sci-fi shows, well, then you won't like Doctor Who. It's not one of those things that's going to turn someone who's never liked sci-fi shows before. It is a sci-fi show, but it is a hands down amazing sci-fi show. If you're thinking about checking it out, Netflix has it online, has the first 5 series. Or if you're checking it out just online, one of my personal favorites is iwatchdoctorwho.com. I will put that link in the doobly-doo. And for now, that's all I've got to say. If you have any more questions, feel free to send me a message. All right, DFTBA, and see you next time.